GTA V is an extremely complete story mode game. You know, it's open world and such, and we have a lot of things to do after we beat the game. But one thing that, geez, ends up really getting in the way is that we don't always know exactly what to do after beating GTA V, because there's a lot of stuff that's really annoying, like the collectibles. They're darn annoying, unbearable. Apart from the collectibles, there also are a lot of generic missions, a lot of annoying little things existing here in GTA V, and we kind of end up wasting time on them. You know, whoever wants to do 100% ends up doing it, but there are people who prefer to just play the best parts. With that in mind then, I'm going to bring you guys here my top 7 things for you to do after beating GTA V. Of course, this is just my opinion. You guys may have a different opinion, but this video here is to guide you towards the best things you can do after completing the main story and continue to enjoy the game. So if you like this channel already, hit that big like button at the start of this video to boost our morale, and subscribe too if you haven't already. Ready? So let's start. Well, after we finish GTA V, there are some things to do like random events, side missions, and collectibles, which can be super annoying. But what I think you should do first after finishing, before embarking on an exploration of GTA V as a whole, the first thing you should do, in my view, is to become a billionaire in the game, or very rich, I don't know, very rich or a billionaire. But why? Because then you can buy everything you want. You can buy all the vehicles, all the properties, or several other things that'll help you enjoy the game in a better way. So you go from here on a side mission. Let's suppose there in Paleto Bay, you're going to have several helicopters, you're going to have a battle tank, and then you do these side missions in a cooler way. More interesting, you know? It doesn't have to be exactly like in the historic way that we're out of money, okay? So the first tip for you is to become billionaires, or at least very rich within GTA V. If you don't know how to become a billionaire in GTA V, I'll leave the card up here for you to click on and find out how to become a real billionaire, getting there to more or less $2 billion, okay? So now let's move on to the second thing. The second thing that I find very interesting in GTA V, which I really enjoy doing, they're fun missions to pass the time, are the Hal Street races. We have some races in GTA V. I think we have stock car races, which are the races in the Big Carrot Desert. That's right, those are cool races, right? They release some cars for you, but if I'm not mistaken, they're only available in the new generation. I'm not exactly sure. Apart from that, we also have marine races. There are a few other races too, quad bike races, motorcycle races and stuff. But the best races I consider are the HAL races, right? They're akin to Need for Speed. They're really cool races. You're going to compete with some guys there for a plate medal, a gold medal, and some money and so on. Because I really like racing games a lot, really. I particularly like it, especially the golden age of Need for Speed, which are the older ones. I really like this part of the HAL races, and I hope you enjoy it too. To do the HAL races, you just have to stop by this place here, and then the races will be released for you to do from 8 at night until 5 in the morning, okay? So let's move on to the third thing. The third thing here that I'm going to tell you about is a set of side quests that you can do with Michael, okay? There are several side quest arcs like with Josh, and there are the ones you do with Trevor. There's a lot, right? And the best arc, let's put it this way, the best side quest package from my point of view is the Epsilon quest pack, which consists of 8 missions, okay? Except for one mission that's extremely tedious, which is to run 8 km in the desert. That's just frustrating. But other than that, man, the Epsilon missions are excellent and they're really unique. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And to top it all off, if you do the ending right, you'll win $2 million in the game, right? So if you don't know how to complete the Epsilon, there's a card up here too. Or you can just grab the video from this channel where I'm teaching how to do it from start to finish and win the 2 million. Got it? Let's move on to the fourth thing. The fourth thing here, I believe, will work for those who've already become billionaires, as well as those who are not so well off. What I'd suggest for you is to purchase the taxi company. The taxi company in the game, Downtown Cabco, it has 9 secret taxi missions, VIP taxi missions, private taxi, and these missions are really excellent, truly exceptional. I've already posted a video here on the channel with all these missions, and trust me, it's got everything. There are missions where you rob a jewelry store, there are missions where you drive a woman to the man who's cheating on her and she kills the guy right before your eyes. There are missions where you get a girlfriend, meaning, dude, there's a mission where you nab a reference from Easter eggs like Nico Bellic, so these missions are really impressive, but they are also tough to snag, you know? So every time this guy gives you a ring, you have to accept and carry out the mission successfully. Normally, if you cancel, it ends up causing a problem, right? The fifth thing that I think you could do in GTA V after completing it that I think would also be great is solving mysteries. I really like this mystery approach. I think it was well exploited in GTA V, and it was much better exploited, for example, in the next game from Rockstar that was Red Dead. So I hope GTA 6 will be awesome. But in GTA V, we have some simpler cases to solve, like the Infinity 8 killer. There is also who is the Mount Gordo ghost. For those who play in the new generation, we already have another mystery, right? Which is Fred, the killer that leaves the corpse in the abandoned mine. In other words, there are some really cool mysteries, you know. Apart from the mysteries that have not been solved, there exist several, right, or theories as well. But for those who really enjoy this mystery approach, want to dig deeper, there are iceberg videos that I also posted on this GTA V iceberg channel. There are many mysteries, including why are GTA V maps always islands, which ties to a tsunami theory that is quite convincing. If you want to look into this theory later, you should check it out, okay? Sixthly, perhaps you ended up playing some of these during the regular story mode of the game, which would be random events. But here's the issue with random events, okay? There are some really generic, really bad random events, like one guy stole a woman's purse and you have to chase the guy, or the guy stole a bike. I don't know, these events are much weaker, much worse, and I've already posted 3 videos on the channel about the best secret events in GTA V, because there are some just ridiculously absurd events where you can win something like $100,000, events where you win cars, where you save best man at wedding. There are events like that. Simply animal, absurd mess, really, very good. And then what I recommend to you is to go in these secret events that exist in GTA V in the best, right? If you don't know, I show you all the locations in this video here. Did it take long? And last but not least, something in the same footprint as the taxi ride from the taxi company, actually, Downtown Cabco, is you buy the track Kensington Landing. How can we buy the taxi company only with Franklin? The airstrip we can buy only with Trevor. And what I like about this airstrip is that you have some really cool missions. You know, you can do the weapons transport missions, right? So you'll take them by plane, and it's going to be in some places which I consider a little bit more boring, but they're still cool. But the one I really like to do the most are the ones we use the Bugzinho, which is that cart over there to collect drugs, right? You have to go through the backwoods or take unconventional routes because the police are watching on the main roads, and you have a time limit to reach the locations. Then you'll end up clashing with the gangs who are basically Trevor's rivals. So there are the Aztecs, the O'Neills, who the guys call hillbillies, and so on. So you'll end up clashing with everyone in that rural area. And if I'm not mistaken, you also clash with the Lost. So you'll end up clashing with the whole GTA area. Yes, over these drug deals, right? So if you're not fast enough, when you get there, there's still going to be a shootout, and you might be able to steal the deal before they get there. But they'll chase you anyway. So these are pretty cool missions that we have at the Mackenzie airstrip. And if I'm not mistaken, we have 10 or 15 different missions. And then after that, it starts to repeat itself in a kind of infinite cycle. So I think it's really worth it. It gives you a lot of good game time. And as a bonus here for you who've already finished GTA 5, it's mandatory. You have to do this, dude. You have to subscribe to this channel. This channel here, from my point of view, is the most complete channel that GTA 5 has today. Maybe I'm mistaken, of course, but for you who enjoy GTA 5 story mode, don't forget to subscribe, because there's a lot of good stuff. And of course, check it out. And there's way too many things for you to do, dude. I know some of you are going to comment here, right? GTA 5 story mode, you go straight online, but not necessarily. For example, I don't really like online much. I prefer to play story mode for a long time rather than going online, but it's more of a matter of taste, okay? And this video here is clearly aimed at people who prefer the story mode over the online mode and want to have more hours of cool gameplay. So if you liked it, like and subscribe until the next video. So a hug and what's up, and hey.